Hey guys, thanks for 5,000 subscribers. This is my 5,000 subscriber responding to questions and comments video. I thought about not doing this because I doubt its value, so we're just gonna ignore that feeling and get right the fuck into it. Deep Space Network says, woo, congratulations. Thanks, man. My question is, what inspires you? What has shaped what you make the most? Anything around me. The cat who is currently like scratching at his tree. I got a new fucking cat and I was like, damn, I want to make a video with you. Another example is my buddy Logan. One day he called me and he was like, hey man, I have access to this wood chipper for like a weekend. And I was like, oh, say less. I will be over in a minute. So a lot of the times it's just like, what do I have access to? David Grabarger says, what do you think Sasquatch would nickname his penis? Would it be Lil Sass or Sass Cock? Well, the region would be like the Sass Crotch, obviously. If it's between A or B, I'd say Lil Sass. Casey Malden, what's your favorite video you've made so far? It varies from day to day. I'd say like my most ambitious video is obviously voyeurism. And I'm proud that I finished it, and I'm proud that I like undertook that. But if I had to pick a favorite video, like if you're asking me right now, you know, I would say the newest video that I have up, Meet My New Roommate, is my favorite just because it's like the newest expression of what I'm capable of. And that's kind of always how things end up being. Also, who do you think would be the most interesting YouTuber to collaborate with if you could pick one to make one video? Man, there's really no one I see outside of the people I've already collaborated with. I'm like, oh man, you know, him would be fucking sick. But I have an upcoming collab, hopefully, with the animator Slouch that I'm super stoked on. So I would say currently is Slouch. Gamma Cowboy says, when are you going to drop the spec script for your crime drama? I do not indulge the writing of spec scripts ever. I'm very much only concerned with what I can do in the moment. But I appreciate it. Mammoth Crossing is also a favorite video of mine. Westerland, do you have any experience in acting or comedy, or are you just naturally a pretty funny guy? Well, thank you. I would say my experience in acting and comedy is the YouTube videos that you have seen from me, and I would consider that experience considering we're going on like 6-7 years of me doing this, including previous channels and stuff. Isaiah Buddha says, when are you going to make Eric get in shape and stop chugging Red Bull? Or are you of the persuasion that he is already built like a god who need not change? You know, I tell him he's fat and out of shape and that he's going to die because of it. And, you know, he's going to make his own decisions at the end of the day. What's an average day/week look like for you and your grind? Well, I wake up at around 6 a.m. I have some coffee. Then around 7, maybe 6:45, I'll start kind of chugging away at whatever work I have to do lately. Most of it's been remote. I'll go fucking work out. And then I'll like spend the afternoon making stuff for my channel or like cleaning my apartment or like doing other shit. So right now the situation's pretty chill. Not too much going on. I haven't been making videos because I just had a very heavy bout of work. And that's the thing about being a freelancer is when work comes in, I'm going to take it and it's going to fill up all my time for X amount of weeks. And then right now when it's like more relaxed and freed, I can shit out videos mixed in. I'll play with the cat. Every day sort of kind of looks like that. Today's one of those days where I'm not working. So it's the morning and I'm recording a video after I drop my girlfriend off at work because I'm a little fucking cuckboy bitch. When are you going to get Sinbad to start doing more podcast episodes with you? You're the only voice I care to hear on the podcast. Well, that is very flattering, Isaiah. Or is it Isaiah? I don't know. I will not be appearing again on the Sinbad podcast, at least not for a while. I was feeling sort of burnt out on the whole thing. And to be honest, that sort of niche of YouTube, this sort of men's self-help, red pill shit, is not resonant with me. We'd kind of get these topics for that podcast, and I would just be like trying to make up a stance to hold, because you can't just get on the podcast and be like, well, I don't care about this. So I stopped doing it of my own volition, and I think it worked out for both of us. You know, I think Nikhil was definitely like happy to have guests on, and it like allowed him to sort of flex his interviewing skills a little bit. So yeah, you won't be seeing me on there, but I have a Patreon podcast that's available for only $5 a month, so you better go fucking check that out. Give me some money. Lucky Nya says, what is your favorite exercise in the gym? Well, believe it or not, Lucky Nya, I have stopped going to the gym. I canceled my gym membership. So now I had 2 gym memberships. So I canceled the one to the powerlifting gym. And now I just go to the climbing gym and I go and fucking climb all day because I got sick of benching all the time. And my favorite exercise to do in the gym currently is to climb. And when I was still lifting, it was fucking bench press, because what else is there that's good? Nothing. How would you describe your ideal wife? I imagine this was ideal. The bitch cooks and she cleans and she takes out the trash and she fucks me whenever I want. I wouldn't. Like, what would I say? Entropy as a service. Did you steal my meth pipe again? Well, Entropy, you tried. You tried to write a comment that made sense, but you misspelled steal. Elliot Lai says, what inspired you to pursue filmmaking as a career? I just wanted to be in a sort of career path, if you could call it that, where I was also doing or close to doing like YouTube related things for myself. And that's kind of what's happened. Like everything I do for other people, in some ways, maybe not so much anymore, it like feeds back into my own skill sets, keeps me always editing or doing something related to a YouTube video. But I think what drew me to YouTube, it's like I wasn't really skilled at doing anything else. Like I suck at everything else, and editing was like my one thing that I was okay at because I'd been doing it for so long, because I used to be a Call of Duty editor. Graham T, would you ever take steroids just to look like a fucking beast? No, I would not take steroids. I already have issues with acne. I mean, it's not super present anymore because my diet's super clean. Steroids just make worse all these things that you already have. I mean, my back would definitely look like a fucking mountain range of pimples and shit. What's your opinion on biohacking and other cyberpunk upgrades? Biohacking is fucking stupid. People who are interested in biohacking, you just have to be super rich and have a lot of free time. You're like addressing this sort of 1% where you're like, oh, well, like what if I woke up in the morning and like had red light fucking pouring onto my face? It's dumb. Like most people don't have their sleep and exercise and diet dialed in. Dial in the basics. Biohacking is stupid, and again, it's for rich people with free time. Cyberpunk upgrades would be cool. I'd probably get like a bionic gut, because my gut has a lot of problems, so then like I could actually digest food properly, and maybe I could have gluten again once in my life. That'd be kind of nice. Spaghetti or meat, says Dane Fighter. Dane, what do you think? You think these arms are made of spaghetti? Fuck you. Rabbit the One. Are there any previous videos you'd like to go back and remake with a larger budget and better equipment/effects? Good question. I think a lot of the charm from a lot of the videos I have out is like, it is a perfect reflection of where I was at and the things I had access to at that time. And so it kind of relates back to one of those really early questions where it's like, just look at what's around me, and that's what my ideas are made out of. So if I had access to a lot more shit, a lot of those older videos just wouldn't have been made. But you did say, I'd personally like to see another rendition of E.T. with those deleted scenes put back in. I personally, I fucking hate that video because, I don't know, it just like makes me cringe at myself. A lot of my older videos, I just hate watching once I get enough distance from them. If I were to redo it though, one thing I will say is I would love to like have access to a makeup artist and go all out on like actually looking like an alien instead of looking like a worsened version of Salad Fingers for that video. I don't hate that video. I'm happy that it exists. I'm happy that it's up. It brought a lot of subscribers to my channel because why? Because fucking Joel Haver shouted that video out, which is super cool and nice. So shout out to Joel. Nia Jessup says, what type of book genre do you mostly read? I would say I mostly read either surrealism or realism. What is your favorite book you read recently? Not to sound like a pretentious cock, but like Gravity's Rainbow is something that I read recently, and I would be lying if I said it didn't like profoundly affect me. Serotonin by Michelle Welbeck is super sick. And Submission. Submission might be a little bit better. Mike Hawk. Hey, yo. What's the best gift you've ever received? Well, if you watch that video that I did for 3,000 subscribers, I was wearing a shirt that is a TrueAnon shirt. So when that shirt came out, it was sold out. It sold out pretty fast in large. So what did my girlfriend do? She got a small and she took off all the patches and shit and she sewed them onto a large shirt. I couldn't believe it. It was a pretty radical, awesome gift. So that's the best gift I've ever received. What's the weirdest fact you know? The weirdest fact I know is that I have 5,161 subscribers. That's pretty weird to me, considering I'm literally the best YouTuber on this fucking platform. Noah Pleb says, a nice burnt face man icon, says, do you do all the editing for these yourself? Absolutely mind-boggling considering your size. Keep it up. Yeah, I do all the editing for these myself, and I also edit other people's videos. And guess what? Those videos get millions of views. I don't want to kill myself. You want to kill yourself. Hator PC says, the worst, yet most handsome roommate I've ever seen. This was on the cat video. Thank you, Hater. Question. I have roommates like that myself. Any suggestions? You know, Hater, if you got roommates that are not paying rent and they're very cute and fluffy, I would say you're fucked. Lucky Nya. Question, how do you feel about prepping? The only thing I am prepping for is upcoming disappointments when YouTube videos don't perform as well as I'd like them to, which is every time. Big Johnny, aka Bo Shoota. What is your opinion on the creative process? What are some tricks you have for getting out of a rut and seeing a project through to the finish? Focus on the moment. What needs to be done now? If you're looking at a project and it feels too big to finish, or like, you know, you're just kind of daunted by the sheer volume of things you have to do, just make a list and then attack the first thing on that list so you can go to the next thing on that list and the next thing, and then just fucking crush it out. You know, just break it down step by step. Don't view things vertically, view them horizontally. 5, what are your World War III survival plans in detail? Man, I die. Die is my plan, obviously. I'm not, you know, I'm barely sticking around with World War III not going down. Matt Colbo says, hey man, really cool that you're doing this. I'm not sure how you're gonna find the time to answer all these questions, but I appreciate you taking time away from feeding your cats, plural, when it is singular, and pulling your knob, true, to dote on this little commune you've built for yourself here. You see, Matt commented on my Patreon, because Matt actually pays me to upload videos, which, you know, I wouldn't say follows suit just because Matt Colbo is a big YouTuber. You know, I'm not saying there's a causal relationship between being on my Patreon and becoming a big YouTuber. There's definitely a correlation there. So if you want to take that chance, maybe become a big YouTuber like Matt Colbo, maybe get on my Patreon. I don't know. But anyways, as for my questions, secondly, you once told me you would do literally anything to work for me, and that if I wanted, you knew 2 guys from St. Paul that were pretty good at business who you thought could help as well. Why is it that when I begrudgingly accepted this meeting and flew on my own dime to Minneapolis, you canceled the meeting and tried to kiss me repeatedly? Well, Matt, you know, those 2 guys that I knew were Eric and Nikhil, and well, they were actually just both busy that day, and then they said, who? When I said, Matt Colbo's here. Matt, you know, we got to go collab with Matt Colbo. And they both kind of just looked at me and said, who's that? What? And then I tried to like show them, you know, your channel, and they were like, I've never seen this. This is why are you showing me this? And those situations quickly turned pretty hostile, so I kind of just backed up. And finally, as unlikable as you are, and as much as it pains me to say, you do unfortunately have talent. We come around to the truth, finally. But what are your actual plans for when YouTube sinks further into its present Mr. Beastification stage, where spectacle is rewarded over story, and the comedy scene is primarily dominated by cookie-cutter horsecock and a lucky few actual creatives who manage to squeak through because of their early entrance into the business and how hot they are? A list you will surely not crack. Well, you hit the nail on the head, Matt. I guess I'll do what I've already been trying to do, which is like somehow pivot the marketing of this stuff I want to make into hopefully something that is packaged for the YouTube algorithm. But it never works. You know, it never works. As YouTube sinks further into Mr. Beastification, I imagine I will just be shunted out and left with the chaff, you know? What is your biggest challenge creatively? My biggest challenge creatively is just like having the money and the free time to actually give me the willpower to pursue something, because I'm not short on ideas. I'm short on time, and it's hard to dedicate like pockets of hours to fucking working on my own stuff. What is your ideal Thomas in 2 years' time? Better in every way physically than Matt Colbo, which I guess that's right now. All right, well, thanks for tuning in, fellas. This has been the 5,000 sub video. I hope it wasn't shit. It feels like it was shit. So grateful for your subscription. It's not like you could possibly do anything more for me. Couldn't possibly. Nothing you could do. Well, I suppose, yeah, I guess you guys could like post my videos on Reddit or at Discord or something, and maybe, you know, I guess you could share them with your friends too. God, like imagine if you took a video that I made and like copied the link and like texted it to one of your friends, and maybe out of your measly paycheck if you could just like cut out $5 and subscribe to the Patreon, where we put out a fucking podcast every single Sunday, and we have 48 already out for your listening pleasure. But you guys, you know, you're doing more than enough by just watching my videos and not helping me at all. Taking in the free content that I make for you and doing literally dick otherwise. I'm so grateful. So thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers. God, I'm hungry. Hey, motherfuckers. So the guy who did the score for Voyeurism just dropped an EP, which I designed this album cover for, and it's out now. Search Data Monk or Monkey Rad 7 on Spotify or Apple Music and bump this song.